Hey guys, welcome to the channel. Today I'm going to be bringing you our year-end review. And in this review, I'm going to be sharing everything. 5th grade, 4th grade, and kindergarten, as well as family subjects, things I liked about the year, didn't like, and just how it overall went for us. If this video gets too long, I will definitely cut it up into pieces, but I'm gonna hop right in, so hopefully it doesn't. The first thing is that I feel like we had a rough year. It started out rough. It got better. It got rough again. It got better. I feel like it was rushed, especially the start of our year. We went in and I really underestimated how busy we would be with extracurricular activities. The girls started band. We had volleyball season going on for my oldest. We had soccer season for my two youngest daughters. I was insane. I mean, I was literally running back and forth across town, just trying to drop one child off and take the others to their activities and come back and pick up the other one. I missed games. There was lots of traveling. We spent a lot of time in the car. We rushed our school days because sometimes my daughter's games, we would have to be there at 2 o'clock. It was a lot. And in that moment, I could not catch my breath. Like, I could not figure out what needed to change because my heart and my head, I wanted to do all of it. Like, I wanted us to enjoy our school year. I wanted us to enjoy all of the extracurriculars that we were doing, everything. And I just couldn't figure it out. So then when it was all over, it was like, whew, I'm glad that's done. Okay, let's get back to what we were doing. But I still really didn't take the time to truly reflect on what had just happened and how I could have done it differently. As I said, in the moment, it was just kind of like, I was just going because I didn't know how to do anything different at the moment. So that I did not like. Our days were rushed. We had to put down a lot of things. And that was unfortunate because we ended up really not picking them back up. And I'll share all that with you when I get into the curriculum portion of the video. But there were just a lot of things that we put down that we never picked back up, or things that we did not fully give 100% to because we just couldn't. And by the time the seasons were over for soccer and volleyball, I was so wiped out. Like, I feel like the school year and homeschooling and our lives took control of us instead of us taking control of those things. Do I regret allowing my girls to participate in all of these extracurricular activities? No. What I do regret is that I did not organize it better for us to be able to function. It's interesting. I asked my oldest daughter earlier if there was anything that she would have changed about the school year, and she's like, no, I had a great year. And so that brings me comfort in knowing that they didn't necessarily feel or see the stress that I was experiencing, because I was definitely concerned when I started reflecting on the year that my girls felt all of that stress and that they knew everything that was going on. And I didn't share with them, the struggles of the time constraints and, how it was stretching me to go back and forth and those types of things. I didn't share those. And I think that's okay, but it was hard. And I don't want to repeat that again. I'm not going to repeat that again. So make sure you subscribe to the channel because I'm going to be sharing like our summer plans as well as how we're going into the school year, and it will not look the same as what we did at the beginning of this school year. A couple of other things that I wish I would have maybe looked at differently is, like, I set out our schedule, and I'll share our scheduling video down below, and went through the calendar, specifically marked off days that we were not going to be schooling because we already knew that we had things planned. That was the thing, that we traveled a lot more this year. And so it caused our time to be broken up even more. So there was no well-defined, like, okay, we're going to work for this amount of time and then we get this break off. And we knew we would get breaks, right? But it was like random breaks here or there, like a Thursday and Friday off for a long weekend. Or then, and then maybe a week and a half after that, we'd have to take another 2 or 3 days off because we were going out of town. And so it kind of really didn't give us an opportunity to get in a rhythm and into a flow. Do I regret taking any of those trips? Absolutely not. I just would have planned it out a little differently had I known that it was going to constantly kind of throw us back and forth with the struggle to get back in the groove, because that's hard. That's one of the reasons why we school year round, because when you take that extended break, it's hard to really get back into it. Well, I found this school year that when we took multiple small breaks, it was still challenging for us to get back into it because those breaks were just random. There was no rhyme or reason to them. It was just, oh, we're going out of town this weekend, so this is how this week of school is going to go. And also there's this mental portion of it that, oh, we're not schooling Thursday, Friday. So then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday was super laxed and really hard to focus in on as well. That was another thing. So I will definitely be planning our year a lot differently because I know that that was something that we struggled with this previous school year. Things that I really enjoyed about the year is that this was a growth year for us. There were lots of struggles that we had not experienced in our homeschool years prior to this school year. And so it was really a time for us all to grow. Each one of my daughters grew in their very own specific way. My oldest daughter, Brenna, she just took off when it came to her independence. She was ready to be independent in writing, in all of her coursework, in planning out her time and choosing which subject she wanted to start with first throughout the day, and pretty much choosing what time. Like, she would get up early, especially during volleyball season. She would get up early in the morning so that she could get her schoolwork done, so that she didn't have to worry about after practice or after games having those things on her mind. And that was a huge leap for her going into 5th grade. I mean, now we're heading into middle school and I see even more of that independence. We've really been talking about things that she would like to see within her year. And I'm excited about that because it means that she's taking control of her learning. She's understanding, she's enjoying it, and she just wants to plan it out according to how she feels she can best do it. So we will work within those means and try to accommodate every single portion of that she is wanting to do. But the growth in her was something that I wasn't ready for. Like, it pulled on my heartstrings because I'm like, my baby, like, this is my baby. And she is like taking herself into a different direction that I really wasn't ready for. But I love it. I do love it. It shows maturity within her. It shows the independence. And those are the things that we really want our children to have. We want to teach them how to be independent beings. But then when they start to do it, it's kind of like, no. But she's doing a really great job. And so we're going to focus on some different things for her this year based off of her interest level and where she is thriving and what she wants. My middle daughter, she really took off with organization. She got better and better with her organization. Now, she still has some growth, and we all do in everything. But to see her make very good, valid, strong attempts at being organized and focusing on what she needed to do, from organizing her bin to, placing her curriculum in the order that she wanted to work on it, to growth in her math, because she is a kinesthetic learner. She does amazing at math, but her really being focused and honing in on her math work, that was something that we hadn't seen in previous years because she just didn't like what she was doing. So we really found a sweet spot when it comes to her for her kinesthetic learning style, and I'm so grateful for that. My youngest daughter took off in kindergarten. I mean, I was very nervous about her learning how to read, me teaching her to read, as well as she started speech therapy this year. It was just a lot, and I was really nervous about her coming into being a huge part of our homeschool, because before she was kind of like off to the side spectator, right? I would do some things with her and she would go off and do her own thing, and she was good. She has spent more time integrated with us within our homeschooling day this school year, and she did awesome. She's still doing amazing. And I love it. I love it. Now, this is not to say that every day that we have in homeschool is perfect. I think I've been very clear that we have struggle days, but I always want to point out the growth in all of us and how that is really shaping our homeschool, because to me, that is what it's about. It's about growing. It's about seeing that there are struggles and how you can turn those struggles into something that helps you to be able to strive for greater. And each one of my girls has done that. I'm also going to toot my own horn and say that I have really worked hard at organizing our homeschool and adjusting to the different changes that are coming along. I am a creature of habit, and I like to keep things even keel right here in this spot. But that's not my children. And so I cannot operate from that place all the time because it causes problems. And I have made huge adjustments that I'm very, very proud of myself. And I thank God for that, because our homeschool would definitely look different if I dug my heels in to say it's my way or the highway, so to speak. Within our homeschool, it would look completely completely different. And so I am definitely open to any and all growth opportunities. That is why I talk to my girls so much and let them know that their opinion and how they feel when it comes to not just homeschool, but being a member of the Tillman family, it matters. Their opinion matters, how they feel matters. They are important, and I want them to know that in every aspect of our lives. So I do include our girls in pretty much everything that we are doing, as long as it is age appropriate within our household, because they matter. And I don't want to make moves that involve them without at least talking to them and seeing how they feel about it. Does that mean that we go with everything that they say every time? No, it doesn't. But their opinions matter. Okay, so if I'd have to rate this school year, I'm probably going to give it like a 7 or 8. And I still think that's great. It's above average. So it was just a different year for us, a growth year, an adjustment year, a visualization, and we're just going to go into this next school year doing something different so that we can try to avoid some of the things that we experienced this previous school year. All right, guys. So now I'm going to hop into curriculum. I'm going to share with you guys. I have everything here. I have 5th, 4th, kindergarten, and also our family subjects. And I'm just going to go through and just kind of tell you guys how we're faring with everything, what we liked about it, that kind of thing. So starting out with my 5th grader, she did the Good and the Beautiful's handwriting level 5. She is done with it. They love the Good and the Beautiful's handwriting. It was a handwriting curriculum. She has amazing handwriting. So yeah, that was just a thing. They actually asked to do it again next year, so she'll be moving up to level 6. I really don't place any pressure on handwriting, especially not at this age, because they have it down. Now it's just about practicing it and using it in everything that they do. The next thing is my oldest daughter. She also did Evan Moore spelling grade 5. She is done with this. How we did it toward the end of the year is the girls just took the test. That was it. They would take a pre-test. They did not get a chance to study the words. They just simply had to have the words called out to them. And if they missed more than one, then they had to go through and do the week's lessons for that week. If they only missed one, they were done. They would move on to the next lesson the next week, or at the end of that same week, if that's what they chose to do. I'm not a stickler about spelling curriculum. It's just spelling. I just want them to be exposed to as many words as they possibly can. And so, as I've shown in a curriculum video, she will be sticking with Evan Moore grade 6 for spelling for 6th grade. The next thing is vocabulary. We actually started out, and I cannot find it. We started out with her doing Wordly Wise level 4 for this school year because she broke her finger last year. It carried over. She did Wordly Wise level 4, and then I thought, let's try a different spelling curriculum. Or vocabulary, sorry. Let's try a different vocabulary curriculum and just kind of alternate those. Well, she didn't want to go back to Wordly Wise. So that's fine. We ended up going to Word Roots level 1, and she started this in January. So she is not done with this. But the amazing thing about this is that it's level 1, but it's for 5th through 12th grade. So she's going to carry this into her 6th grade year. Totally fine. It does all of the Latin roots, prefixes, suffixes. It's amazing, and she really, really enjoys it. So we're just going to keep going with Word Roots level 1. I've already purchased level 2. I completely forgot that she hadn't started this until January, so she probably won't touch level 2 until January of 2024. We'll see how it goes, but we're going to stick with Word Roots. The next thing is Saxon Math 6-5. We are still working through Saxon Math 6-5. This is just kind of a testament of how our school year went. But this is the perfect curriculum for my oldest daughter. She loves everything about it. It's straight to the point. She is going through it and doing well. One thing that we did not do at the beginning of this school year, and I don't know why. And maybe we did, I can't even remember. But what we will do going into the next one, because she will be going on to Saxon 7-6, is that in the beginning, a lot of the lessons are review. Well, since we're not stopping our math, she doesn't really need to go through all of that review because she's not going to have that slide and have to be refreshed about what she's using. So what I will do is have her take the test until she gets an 80. Once she gets an 80, then she will have to start doing the lessons from there. So that will move us along a little bit faster within Saxon Math. She's going to keep working on this until she's done. I believe she'll be done with it at the beginning of July. Summer plans for us are coming up. Make sure you subscribe because I'm going to share all of the details of what we're going to be doing this summer. And the last thing for my fifth grader is easy grammar and daily grams. She's done with daily grams already. Not really sure how that happened. She's super ambitious, so she probably did like 2 daily grams a day for I don't even know how long. But she is done with daily grams. She just has easy grammar left to do. Easy grammar level 5, and she will be done with this one around the first week of July as well. It works for her. She loves it. I'm not going to say it's easy, but it's straight to the point for grammar. And I love that we split up all of our ELA so they have different spelling, vocabulary, grammar, writing, all the things, because it really just allows them to kind of experience different things, and they get a fullness of it that they weren't getting when we were using other grammar curriculum that was like, or not grammar, but ELA curriculum that was like all in one. So easy grammar has worked for her. She's been doing it all year long. There's quite a bit in this workbook, but she's working through it and she really loves it. So we're gonna stick with it. Okay, now moving on to my fourth grader. She did the same thing. We did the Good and the Beautiful's level 4 for her for handwriting. They love it. It's something they really enjoy. She is working through it. Her handwriting is improving with the Good and the Beautiful, so we're just going to stick with that. She's going to be moving on to level 5, but she's done with this. They've been done with it for a while. They really just did like a page a day, and even on like sometimes they wanted to do it on Saturdays and Sundays, which is how they ended up finishing this one so quickly. So we're done with this. The next thing, she also did the Evan Moore's Building Spelling Skills grade 4. I did the exact same thing with her. They went through and did the lessons for like the first half of the school year. Then the second half, I thought, okay, let's try just taking the test. A friend of mine suggested that too because they were doing great. They weren't getting anything wrong. And so they started just taking the test. If they miss more than one, then they have to do the lesson for the week. If not, they can just move on to the next lesson and take the test for that. They do not get a chance to read the words in advance. No studying the words or anything like that. It's just off the top of your head, can you spell these words? If they can, that's great, and we just keep moving on. I believe that she has like one lesson left in this book, so she'll be done with this by the end of this month, and then we're just gonna chill out with this for a little while. Okay, when it comes to vocabulary, we actually started out with, excuse this book, it's been through some things, but she started out the school year with Wordly Wise level 4 for her vocabulary. And then I thought, let's try to add something in that she's a little bit more interested in. We were kind of struggling through Wordly Wise, even though it's an amazing curriculum. It just wasn't speaking to her the way that she wanted it to, which caused struggles because she just didn't want to do it, which that was hard in our homeschool. So someone suggested that we try a word a day by Evan Moore, and this is grade 4. So we did start doing this, but she didn't like it. I didn't like it. It just didn't seem like it had enough meat. I did a review on it. I'll link it down below for you guys. And so we decided to, and she actually asked to go back to Wordly Wise level 4. So that is where she is right now. She has about 1 or 2 lessons left in this book, and she will be done with it as well. And then we're going to move on to something else for vocabulary for next year. Okay, as far as math, we started out this school year with Horizons Math. This was new for us, doing level 4. She just did not like, I think we were doing teaching textbooks last year, and she didn't like it. She wanted off of the computer, which is really surprising because she loves all the bells and whistles, but I think because she was not able to use her hands because she is my kinesthetic learner, this just was not flying, or teaching textbooks was not flying for her. So we switched to Horizons for the year, and it's been great. The only thing that I don't like about it is there's not enough space, but stick around, make sure you subscribe because I'm going to be doing a comparison of Horizon level 4 and Saxon Math 5-4 so that people can really see the difference between the two curriculum. So we have been doing Horizons Math. She is almost done. I think she'll be done probably in July. These have a lot of lessons. Saxon Math does too, and so it's quite a bit. One thing I didn't do with her was take the test in the beginning for a review portion of it long enough. I think we did a couple and then we just went directly to the lessons. But moving into next year's math, she will do Horizons grade 5. We won't need all of the review in the beginning, so we'll do the test until she needs to start on the lesson. So that should not carry us over so far into our summer time. Okay, now grammar. We started out the school year with the WINSTON grammar program. Amazing program. It has these awesome cards. I have done reviews on pretty much everything that I'm showing you guys. So if you're interested, check out my playlist. I'll link it down below that has all the reviews that I've ever done here on this channel. And you will find all of these details. But she loved it. It just got to a point to where it was a little too in-depth for her fourth grade self. And so we had to sit WINSTON grammar down. This is a temporary sit down because I feel like this program is so solid and it's going to be awesome when she's able to go back to it. So we did sit WINSTON grammar down about around lesson 16 or 17, and then she picked up Easy Grammar grade 4. I had already purchased this because I was kind of thinking that may happen with WINSTON grammar based on the grade level that it's suggested for, and her just now splitting up her grammar for this school year, separating it from everything else ELA, right? So we went on to Easy Grammar grade 4. She enjoys it. She really does. However, she's nowhere near being done with this because she didn't start it until January of this year. So she's nowhere near being done. I really don't have a plan as to whether or not we're going to finish this one before we go on. She will go on to Easy Grammar 5. I don't really know yet. I don't quite have a plan, but I promise you, as soon as I get one, I will let you guys know. I do already have Easy Grammar 5 for her. I found it dirt cheap, so I went ahead and grabbed it. We still have the WINSTON grammar that she could go to. There's so many different options that I'm really not concerned with it. I don't think there's going to be any gap. Grammar is grammar is grammar. It builds up on itself and she'll be fine. So as of right now, she's going to continue with Easy Grammar 4, and I will let y'all know what we do after that. All right, moving on to my kindergartner, soon to be first grader, which I just can hardly believe. She started out using the Good and the Beautiful's handwriting. This is level K. She breezed right through it. My daughter does not like handwriting. She does not like drawing. So the Good and the Beautiful it's really not for her. As you can see, she just kind of scribbled her way through here. Her handwriting is improving. We need something else and structure, and I need to really have her sit down, correct position. She holds her pencil great. She just doesn't enjoy it. She puts handwriting, I think, in the category with like coloring and drawing, and she does not like to do that. So we're going to work on getting a solid handwriting curriculum. We probably will go back to, as I said before, or start, because we actually never started it, but Logic of English's handwriting that they have along with their curriculum. I say go back because I'm going to take her all the way back to the beginning where it just works on the strokes, and we'll progress from there based off of how she adjusts to it. For math, this school year, she started out with a Saxon Math K and breezed right through it. I knew that she would, and so the program that we were using before, she was really prepared for this. So we finished Saxon around December of 2022, and then we just moved on to Saxon Math 1. And this is what she is currently working through right now. And we're just going to continue on with this. She's already in Saxon Math 1. She's not even in first grade. There's no rush for it. We'll just keep working through it. I already have Saxon Math 2 whenever she is ready. But I feel like Saxon it's a solid curriculum. It's really working for her. It is definitely teacher intensive. However, I don't mind sitting down with my girls to work with them and adjusting the time so that we can do so. She's progressing so well, learning her math facts and just all of this abstract thinking and counting money. She's doing a really, really good job, and she enjoys it, and she can go and get her books out, and she knows what to do. So when I'm teaching her the lesson, she's very attentive. We work through it. We take breaks. It's great. So Saxon Math is working for 2 of my 3 girls, which is awesome. I always want to find curriculum that works for them and how they learn. So we're going to continue with Saxon Math. For phonics, for spelling, reading, we have been using Logic of English Foundations. Now she is in Foundations B. We started out with Foundations A at the beginning of the school year, and she finished around December. And we're moving a little slow, and that's because we keep taking breaks. But for one lesson, it usually takes us 2 days because I don't like to really push. However, I have seen in her over the last month or so that she wants more time. So I'll say, okay, time's up. We'll stop this one. You know, we're halfway through. And she's like, well, no, I want to go on to the spelling. And so we might do 3 of the spelling words instead of all 5 of them. And it's just kind of her attention span is what I'll say. And her attentiveness is really growing as she gets older. I don't ever want to push my girls, especially not at this age. I want them to to want to do it, to have the energy and the focus level to do it. And I don't want to push that. We take several breaks whenever it's needed. She'll even ask for breaks sometimes. She's like, okay, can I take a break? I want to just, run downstairs and come back. And it's so funny because that's something that we do. I'm like, okay, everybody up, run 5 circles around the table, and we'll hit it. Everybody will do it. And then we'll sit back down and it's almost like, whew, we feel refreshed, bathroom breaks or whatever we need to do. So she's been progressing in Foundations B very well. I suspect that we will be done with this probably mid-July, and she will move on to Foundation C. I'm not in a rush. We spend a lot of time reading, and that is part of the reason why it takes us 2 to maybe 2.5 days to do one lesson, because I'm really focusing on getting that reading time in with her. Okay, now I'm gonna move on to family subjects. Let me grab those really quick. All right, so we did the Miss Frisbee and the Rats of Nims literature study by moving beyond the page. Amazing, we loved it. My only downfall is that I wish we could have done more literature studies. We just didn't have time to do it. So that is something that's gonna be changing this upcoming school year, but we enjoyed this literature study. It was something that we got to add in crafts with and really analyzing and assessing the books and all of the literature and doing it together. My youngest even listened and she participated in some of the crafts for the end project within this curriculum. It was nice to be able to do that. I'm very glad that we did. So I'm gonna make some changes and hopefully we can get more literature studies in. You probably have not seen this in a really long time because I've not shared anything about it. We started out the school year doing artistic pursuits for our art curriculum. Bought all the things, y'all. Did all of it. We were ready. And we did not finish. There are 18 lessons within this curriculum and I think we got to 4. That is what I mean when I say the school year took off and just kind of was dragging us behind it. This was one of the things that we had to put down. I will say my girls were like, they want to do more art. They're like, we did not get in as much art this year because last year we were all over the art and crafts and all of the things. But this year we just didn't. We didn't. It was a different year for us. I want to bring this back because that is something that we love. If you follow the channel, you guys know that we love art. We love crafts. Now, we're not like art history major people, but we do like to just create art and do crafts and projects. And so we're going to get back to that. So artistic pursuits, you might see it showing back up again. Even though this level is for kindergarten through 3rd grade, I mean, who cares? You're doing art and that's all that really matters. I don't know that any of my girls are going to be this great artist. They may, who knows, but we're just going to work through what we have. I will not be buying another art curriculum though, at all. Another thing that you probably have not seen in a really long time is the Travel the States curriculum. We started out the school year doing this. It was going along with our U.S. history studies, but we just had to put it down. And I didn't do a review on this. I did do a flip through, but there was just some things that my oldest girls didn't like or that was too advanced for my youngest daughter. And when things got busy, me trying to really figure those things out and sort through it just was not a priority on the list. So we did sit this down. We did play some of the games. We did some of the coloring, some of the videos here and there. So we've done maybe, I think, 7 states from this curriculum. I don't really know what I plan to do with it moving forward, but we still have it. It's not a bad curriculum at all. So I'll see how we can incorporate it and if we want to incorporate it or move on to something else. But we have not done this since probably, well, we did some into October because every time we traveled, we would pick one of the states that we were going to and we would do that one, or one of the states that we were going through and we would do that one. So that's how we ended up doing like 7 states this year. So we kind of did it off and on throughout the year, but we have not done one since maybe March or so. So no more traveling in the states. Okay, moving on to history. We did our history and we coupled that with the master books, America's Story 1. This was great. It worked out really good for us. I'm so glad that I combined the two. This one I just did a review on, and I'm excited because I actually just received volume 2 of the primary level, and we're going to be starting that with America's Story 2. So really excited about diving into that. This has been great, and we'll finish, actually, We won't start volume 2 yet. We still have a couple of things to do in volume number 1 that goes along with America Story 2, and then we'll switch over. But I'm glad that we have this. There are lots of people that said that they were excited to see it. I did a flip through of it and a review and all the things. I'll link all of the videos down below for you guys in a huge playlist, and you could just go check them out. But we're going to be continuing with this one. This gave us some really good opportunities to talk, some very rich books that we were able to go over and read. It was just overall a really good rounding out of our history curriculum for the year. America Story was great. I did a review over this one as well. We used this as a Charlotte Mason style and read the stories within the book. The girls were able, my oldest daughters were able to read it. We did the timeline. It was great for giving us the history that we were needing along with the our history, his story. And so we're going to be moving on to America Story 2 to study further. I like that I was able to add in lots of living books from the other history curriculum, like I said, to just round it all out. And we did finish this one as well. Okay, the next thing is our science. We use the Master Books God's Design for Life, a science curriculum. We finished the human body and we are about halfway through the plants unit. Yes, this is supposed to be for one whole year. We just could not make it work. This curriculum is awesome though. It's us. I'm telling you guys, this year was just so different for us, but we do really like unit study format. That is why I go to Master Books, because if you think about it, it has 3 things here within the whole year. So you're kind of doing unit studies. I like to do them a little bit shorter time. So a unit study for us, 4 weeks, maybe 6 weeks, that type of thing. These go into like 9 to 12 weeks or something for each specific area within the book. But we did like it and we're loving it so far. We love the human body. We really got to dive in deep into that. We are enjoying the plants portion of it, especially this time of year, because we get to get out and see all of the different plants and really take good looks at them. So I'm not sure if we're going to do the animals, because we did an animal study last year when we did My Father's World. So I don't know if we're going to do animals, if we're just going to move on to the next one, which is Heaven and Earth. Not really sure. Or if we're going to move on to our unit studies. I don't have a science plan together just yet, but make sure you subscribe because I'm going to give all of that information. I am really thinking hard this summer about how our year is going to be planned out so that it suits our needs a lot better. But this has been great. We're just going to keep going with the plants, and then we'll kind of make our decision based off of how we're feeling after finishing the plants portion. One thing I wanted to share about the direction of the channel is that I don't want my channel to be all curriculum based information. This time of year, there's a lot of that because I want to share what we've used in hopes that, you can glean some things from it and use it if it fits for your household. But that is not all that you will see here at the Life of Tillmans. You will see day in the life videos. You're going to see, how I do things, do lessons with me, just encouragement and conversation. That is how the channel moves forward. So if you are a new subscriber, I do not just share curriculum, but I do share processes and how we're moving throughout our lives. So make sure you stick around for that, and I'll see you guys really soon.